Harold Johnson, an elderly man who walked into a car dealership one day, expecting a warm welcome and a chance to buy a new car. Instead, he found himself ignored, overlooked, a story that begins with disappointment and ends with a twist you won't see coming. At 78 years old, Harold had spent most of his life as a devoted schoolteacher. After decades of shaping young minds, he felt it was finally time to reward himself with something special, his dream car. He had saved diligently, researched various models, and even picked out the perfect sedan that he had envisioned driving down the open road. With excitement bubbling inside him, he drove to his local car dealership, ready to make that dream a reality. As he stepped into the dealership, the atmosphere buzzed with energy. Young families laughed and chatted, salespeople hustled about, and shiny new cars gleamed under the bright lights. But as Harold entered, a wave of unease washed over him. He felt like a stranger in a place that should have felt welcoming. With a brochure in hand, Harold approached a nearby salesperson, a friendly-looking man who was currently engaged with a young couple. He smiled, hoping to catch their attention, but was met with indifference. The salesperson continued chatting with the couple, completely ignoring Harold. Minutes turned into what felt like hours. Harold stood there, waiting patiently, trying to catch someone's eye. He raised his hand slightly, hoping to signal for help, but his gestures were met with blank stares and hurried movements. The laughter and excitement around him only deepened his feelings of isolation. As he watched the salespeople rush past, attending to younger customers, Harold's excitement began to fade. Instead of feeling welcomed, he felt invisible, a ghost in a lively room. His heart sank as he realized that no one seemed to care about him or his desire to buy a car. It was a painful reminder of how society often overlooks the elderly, and with each passing moment, frustration bubbled within him. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, Harold made the difficult decision to leave. He turned away from the bright lights and the promise of excitement, feeling defeated and disheartened. As he sat in his car, staring at the dealership that had offered him a glimmer of hope, a mix of anger and sadness washed over him. How could a place dedicated to selling cars disregard a genuine customer like him? The more he thought about it, the angrier he became. Harold's frustration transformed into determination. He realized he couldn't just let this slide. He had to take action, not just for himself, but for others who might face the same disrespect. Fueled by a newfound resolve, he gathered his thoughts and began to formulate a plan. That night, Mr. Thompson made a decision. He reached out to some old friends from his teaching days, many of whom had gone on to successful careers in business and finance. Mr. Thompson told them what happened, and they were appalled. They encouraged me to take action, to show that age doesn't define our worth. With their help, Mr. Thompson devised a plan. He discovered that the dealership was struggling financially. Their neglectful customer service had driven away loyal clients, and they were on the brink of bankruptcy. Mr. Thompson realized this was his chance. If they didn't want to treat customers with respect, maybe it was time for a change in leadership. Over the next few weeks, with the support of his friends, Mr. Thompson worked tirelessly. He secured funding and initiated a buyout. It was a bold move, but he was determined to turn this dealership around. The next day, the employees at the dealership were in for the shock of their lives. Mr. Thompson walked into the dealership, but this time, he wasn't just a customer. He was the new owner. Mr. Thompson says, "Good morning, everyone. I hope you're ready for some changes." What followed was a swift series of events that left everyone stunned. Mr. Thompson says, "I've seen how you treat customers, and it's unacceptable. I'm here to change that." Starting today, we're implementing new policies. With a fresh vision and a commitment to customer service, Mr. Thompson began transforming the dealership. He hired experienced staff who understood the value of respect and connection. Every customer deserves to feel valued, regardless of their age. That's the culture I want to build here. Word spread quickly about the new ownership. Customers flocked to the dealership, eager to experience the change for themselves. Mr. Thompson not only saved a business, but also created a welcoming environment for all ages. From being ignored to becoming the owner, Mr. Thompson's story is a powerful reminder that age is just a number, and respect must be earned by everyone. Never let anyone tell you that you're too old to make a difference. If you believe in yourself and fight for what's right, you can achieve anything,